All right, for the final part here, we are going to do the mock MVC tests, and this is something I will go pretty quickly on. You've seen these before in a past module, so we are basically doing the same tests. Matter of fact, the ones for the course and the courses that we're hitting on are going to basically be the same because we've seen this already. So the only difference is that we are now using, instead of find one, we are using find by ID, showing you the difference between Spring 1.5 and Spring 2.0. So we'll have to do a few of the adjustments on there. But you can certainly reference your previous mock MVC test class and try to build these out. And I will get going on them as well. All right, so here's our project. So within our project, as always, we now have JPA mappings tests and course controller tests, so it's always good to start by making sure we run all of our tests. So I can right click on source test Java, and we can run these as a JUnit test just to make sure everything's running since the last video, since the last time we've opened this project. And we're looking pretty good. So the goal here now is to create one more set of tests that will drive the building of our time leaf templates, and we'll be able to get onto the web. So let's make a class called Course Controller Mock MVC Test. And what we can do actually is go into, well, I'll build them out. We'll build them out again. So you can see these get built, but you could steal the ones you already have. So not the data JPA anymore for the annotation. These are going to be the web MVC tests. All right. And let's go ahead and mock our MVC. So we'll inject a resource here. We're going to inject the resource of mock MVC. We'll need that for our first test. We'll make the test and see what else we need. So again, going to a single course means we need to dive into the ID of our particular course. And so we'll need a arbitrary course ID. And we'll have to inject a few things here. So we need to mock our course repository. And we will have to mock our course. Pretty much a very similar test to one you've already seen. And let's go ahead and hit on that endpoint here and expect to get back the proper view. Great reminder of our endpoints for when we are doing request parameters. So remember your request parameter for this, let's dive into the controller, is a single course, and then the request parameter is by the ID. So that will be the question mark ID equals. So we do the forward course question mark ID equals, and what are we expecting? Well, 1 for this case. That's our arbitrary course ID. We are expecting the singular template, of course, to come back for us there. And I'm not sure why I can't organize those imports. Usually you can go to Window, Preferences, Content Assist, Java. Editor, Content Assist, check off Use Static Imports. We need to add these to the favorites, all of these right here that we have. I need to make sure there's a video for you all on doing that. These are something we can also do in the course itself. You would be adding these as new members, new types. Anyways, what I'm able to do here, I need to get view and is. So what I've done is went out and found the mock MVC documentation, and we can bring over both of these first two here. So if you go and you just Google the mock MVC Spring Docs, these first two imports should do it for us. Let's see what they do. All right, they fixed two. Now I need to just work on is. Is already able to just come right in. There we go. So these two imports from the Spring Framework will help us get everything fixed up. And you can just go out to the docs.spring.io, Spring Framework, or just Google Spring Framework mock MVC docs, pull those first two imports there, and that'll take care of what you need so you don't have to type it in. So now we're all set with that. And we should have a template that doesn't exist at this point when we run. We'll go from there. So this is where I can cheat a little bit, only because we've already built one of these out in our courses project. Go ahead and copy both of these templates to save some time from courses and put them in courses, topics, textbooks. Put them in the templates folder there. All right, so in essence, here I'm hitting on a particular course. So there's my course, single course. I've also got my plural courses as well. Those two templates, it came from a previous project. All right. Let's see what happens on this template now. If we look at our console here, it wants me to create a topic repo. It wants me to inject that in here. I'm thinking because a course references a topic that we are coming across that issue. So let's go ahead and do that as well. And I think if I would have test driven the creation of the topics template first, I wouldn't have hit this. That test now passes. All right. So we're hitting on the template. We can check the status here. I could take most of this here, except, all right, yeah, let's take this whole thing. And we're going to expect status to be, and I think my import covers status. Right, and let's check one out where we don't specify an ID. So this should not be okay for a single course. So let's go ahead and bring this same test over. And how do we make it not okay? Well, what if we don't specify the ID here? We're just trying to hit on something that doesn't, so we're not finding that particular ID, but we still want to hit on it. So we're not finding it, but we want to hit on that ID. So that should fail for us right now if we have it set to OK. And you can see there that we are saying that we expected OK 200, but we got a 404. And what we can do is then just say not found. That's what we expect. Great, that one passes. That would be the same thing as if we have an ID here of 1, but let's say we were expecting to hit on 2. That's not going to pass for us. That's going to give us a 404. And let's go ahead and put a single course into the model here. Take as much of this as I can. So we're going to expect our model attribute. And that's great as well. So that's testing out the ability of our add attribute there for our model. And remember, our model name is courses, and that is connected then to our controller right here with courses. That's our attribute. So all those tests are looking pretty good. And I think that's it for single course. Now we can go into dealing with our all courses, and we'll pretty much do the same behavior. We've already built out that template. Let's take this one here. And this time we want to go to what endpoint? Show courses. And this should be plural. And that's hitting on our template. Let's make it singular so that it's not going to hit on our singular template. So that should fail. Yep, and we'll hit on our plural template, all of our courses, and that should pass. All right, let's see, should be okay for all courses. Should be status there. And then we'll put all courses into the model. Now we're dealing with a collection here. So we'll have to inject these. Java utility. I'm running the wrong import for arrays there. So your arrays import, make sure it is the Java util. Looking good there. Now we can work on the topics. So there will be just about as many tests for the topics here. And so again, you can go ahead and pause the video, go through the topics, and I will do the same and show you the results. All right, welcome back. And we've got our course and courses templates wired up and tested, and I wanted you to test your topic and topics templates. So let's see how you did. And I got all my tests passing here. There's a lot of tests in here, so we're testing all different possible ways. There's like 7 tests that we needed to add for topics, so let's get into what those were. The only thing I needed to do up here, we already had my topic repository mocked. I mocked up two topics, topic and another topic, very similarly to how I did the courses, course and another course. We did that. Tested all of our views, all of our endpoints for the course and courses, putting them into our model. So we know those are all working, and if we went out onto the web and hit on those, we'd see them. I did the same thing here for topics. So the first set of tests is really just a model of what we'd already covered. So we can route to a single topic view by ID. Again, that request parameter, $ID equals, so we're bringing that in. And this is our singular template. Be expecting OK for that status. If we don't specify the ID that we're trying to hit on, we should get not found. We should get that 404, and we do. Putting that single topic into our model. Remember, our model is plural topics, and that's OK. It's going to be, the model will stay the same for both the singular and the plural version of your courses and your topics. Expecting to be OK for all of our topics. When we hit plural endpoint and we get the views to match the endpoint that we're routing to, and then we are putting everything in the model. So there is 2 topics that we've added into a collection. We're going to put those into our model. So that's all the tests and the functionality that we needed there. And we needed to go in, and you probably saw that the tests drove you to create your topic.html and topics. So here we can take a look at my topic. It's very simple. I am iterating over so this could be something that you might want to add in if you didn't think about it. If you want to start really simple, just making sure you're rendering and displaying the name of the topic. Matter of fact, for the purposes of this actually passing a test, we don't have to have any content in here. We just have to have the time leaf template created. But here's the time leaf for a single topic, and let's iterate over each topic in our collection. And then from there, we'll show the name of that topic. And we're also going to do another div that would iterate over all of the courses that are tied into a particular topic. And so that second div there, it will only show those courses that are with any relationship for your topic. Plural topics, we're just going to iterate over each one, and we will link to that particular topic and show the name of the topic. So there is the time leaf for topics as well. So what's interesting, we have one more step here and then we're all done. We can go ahead and check all of our tests one last time, and then we're done with testing. We should see all 4 of those classes pass. Now, this doesn't mean we have an exact, fully functioning app, because we might have an issue with some of our time leaf. There might be a variable that's off somewhere, so that would be something we have to check. But we can, in essence, have pretty much full confidence in our back-end Java code here that everything is functioning the way we expect. So let's go ahead and run our application. And we should be able to hit on all of our endpoints here. We go show courses, and we get a list of courses. Now nothing's here. We haven't built out our populator yet, but it is up and running. We can go to courses, $ID equals, but I don't have any actual items in here, so I'm probably going to get, yep, a 404 for that. It's looking for it though. Topics, and then the same deal with a single topic, $ID equals 1, and we're not getting anything for that. So we now need to build out our populator so that we can actually see that data, and then we are done. So we put some real data in here. Everything we did, we mocked in our tests, but now we need to finish this off, put some courses in here with some particular topics, and if you wanted to put the textbooks in, I didn't test any of the textbook stuff. That can be the final step for you if you would like more practice with this. You can go ahead and test drive the creation of all of the textbook functionality for your templates. So let's go ahead and call this, I'll call Courses Populator or Course Populator. Make sure it's in main. Has the add component annotation on it. We'll inject our repo resources. We need a topic repo and we need a textbook repo. All right, so there's our repos. And we'll implement the command line runner so we can build this out. Add the unimplemented method there, so this is where we'll throw our data. So this will be our database in essence. It's going to add and drop this database every time we run our application. So we've talked about in the tests the order that we needed to create these things, and the first entity that we need to create objects for will be our topic. So we need to do the same order, the same behavior that we did in the tests. Notice we're doing the same behavior here. Just like with our mocked objects, our mock topics, whatever it would be. All right, there's one topic, and we'll make 2 more topics. Spring. All right, next we can make a course. And let's see, what topics do we want to put on this? Let's keep it simple and just put the Java topic on that course. And we'll save that to our database. And I guess we'll create one more course. We'll create Java 102. Call this Advanced Java. Learn how to be on there as a topic as well. So there's our two courses. Notice that we're tying in the topics. So we had to save the one side relationship first, which were the particular topics, and then we can create our courses. And now we can do our textbooks last, because our textbooks belong to a course. Here, why don't we shortcut these so you can see both ways of doing it. Here's our textbook for the class. And that would be tied into the course Java 101. I think that's pretty good. So you can see in essence that's our populator. So now we should actually see some data on our time leaf templates, and we'll see what happens here. So let's start at show courses. And there's our two courses. We can dive into each course, and you can see our request mapping there, question mark ID equals. So this one has an ID of 4. Remember, as I said, you couldn't necessarily always depend on that being an exact ID of 1, 2, 3, something greater than 0. Advanced Java has an ID of 5. All right, we could go into, now these aren't tied in. We could have our time leaf tie into the topics as well. It might be something that you'd want to show. Right now it's not. We can hit on our topics. And there's our 3 topics. And the Java topic, remember we're iterating over the courses. So notice that it is on the Intro to Java course, and it's on the Advanced Java course. So it's hitting on both of those courses. Let's see, Spring. I don't think we had anything tied into Spring. TDD, you can see the Advanced Java course for that. And so there's our relationship setup. So this is sort of how you're able to dive into information and show the particular things that you want to show. And there's a lot more that you could do with this as far as getting things wired up. Haven't done anything with textbooks yet. I'm leaving that option open for you to experiment, to play around with. You want to show those in your time leaf templates somehow? Do you want to be able to use that knowledge when you dive into a particular topic, and you can see all of the courses tied into that topic? So you could dive into a particular textbook and see all the courses that belong to that textbook, or that textbook is being utilized in. So that's something that you can build out. So there's a lot more functionality that you can build out on this end. So this video is long enough at this point. We are able to get this thing fully tested and wired up. We've gotten our JPA mappings tests done, which was new to you. We've test driven the controller in similar fashion to the MVC, but a few extra additions in there, and we've done something very similar with your MVC tests. And again, we're using Spring 2.0 in this project, so we are utilizing the find by ID method versus find one. And so things were a little different with the introduction of optional. And so good luck with getting this thing wired up. It's another big project, so great job sticking with me.